Ladies, let me tell you something. Dating today is like a battlefield. Everybody's got phones, everybody's got options, and everybody's trying to figure out the right thing to say. And half the time, we're overthinking it. You're sitting there typing a whole paragraph, deleting it, rewriting it, adding emojis, wondering if he's going to think you're too forward, too distant, too much, or not enough. By the time you hit send, you've done stressed yourself out over a text that he's going to read in 3 seconds flat. But here's what I know for sure. A man don't need a novel. He don't need you chasing him with 20 messages. What he responds to is confidence. What he pays attention to is simplicity. What makes him lean in is clarity. Because sometimes it ain't about saying more. It's about saying less and saying it with power. Now, when I talk about these 5 words, don't get it twisted. This ain't no magic spell. It's not some trick to manipulate a man. It's about the attitude behind the words. It's about knowing your worth, setting the tone, and understanding how men think. Because men, we're simple. We don't need poetry. We don't need 1,000 explanations. What gets our attention is a woman who speaks with confidence and doesn't beg for approval. And here's the beauty of it. When you know how to deliver the right words with the right energy, you flip the script. You stop being the one chasing, stressing, and proving yourself. Instead, he's the one chasing you. He's the one wondering what you mean, what you want, what he's got to do to step up. And that, ladies, is how you shift the whole game. Know you are the prize, ladies. Let me tell you something real plain. A man will only treat you the way you show him you deserve to be treated. If you walk into his life acting like you're blessed just to have his attention, he's going to believe it. But if you carry yourself like you're the prize, like you bring value, joy, peace, and power into his life, then suddenly he's the one who feels lucky. And trust me, men chase what they think is valuable. Now, I know some of y'all are sitting there saying, but Steve, I don't feel like the prize. I've been through too much. I've been overlooked. I've been hurt. And I hear you. But listen, your worth ain't up for debate. It don't decrease because of somebody else's inability to see it. A diamond in the dirt is still a diamond. You might have been stepped on. You might have been ignored, but the value didn't leave you. The only thing missing is you believing it. See, when a man senses that you don't value yourself, he takes shortcuts. He shows up late, he sends half-hearted texts, he gives you just enough to keep you around. Why? Because you accepted it. And here's the hard truth. People will only rise to the level you demand. If your bar is low, he'll walk right under it. But if your bar is high, he'll either step up or step out. And either way, you win. Let me give you an example. Imagine 2 stores. One has its products on clearance, everything marked down, everything on sale. The other has luxury items behind glass cases, polished, protected, displayed with pride. Now tell me, which store do people respect more? Which store makes people save up before they buy? It's the one that knows its value. Same thing with you. If you're always available, always giving, always settling, you look like a clearance rack. But when you carry yourself with confidence, when you protect your energy, when you walk with standards, you become the luxury store. He's got to come correct or he can't shop there. And here's the part I need you to really get. Being the prize doesn't mean being arrogant. It doesn't mean walking around with your nose up. It means knowing deep in your heart that you bring something to the table no one else can. You bring your laugh, your spirit, your kindness, your strength. You are one of one. Ain't nobody else on this planet exactly like you. And that uniqueness, that's the prize. Now, how does this connect to the 5 words? Easy. Those words only work when they're rooted in self-worth. If you text him something powerful, but deep down you don't believe it, he'll feel it. Men can sense desperation. But when you say something with confidence, when your spirit says, I am the prize and you're lucky to be here, it changes the whole tone. It makes him lean in. It makes him chase because he realizes you're not out here begging for attention. You're letting him audition for a role in your life. And let's be clear, the right man wants to chase. He don't want everything handed to him. He wants to feel like he earned your time, your trust, your love. That's what keeps him invested. But if you don't see yourself as the prize, you rob him of the chance to rise. You end up doing all the chasing and he gets to sit back. That's backwards. Ladies, you've got to flip the script. Stop asking, does he want me? And start asking, do I want him? Stop worrying, is he going to pick me? And start saying, I'll decide if he qualifies. That mindset shift alone will change your whole dating life. Because when you know you're the prize, you don't trip over rejection. You don't cry over inconsistency. You say, if he can't see my value, that's his loss. Next. And trust me, that confidence is magnetic. So here's the conclusion: knowing you are the prize is the foundation for everything else. Without it, the 5 words are just a text. With it, the 5 words become a statement, a declaration, a spark that makes him sit up and chase. Because at the end of the day, a man will fight for what he knows is rare. He will chase what he knows is valuable. And you, my sister, are the prize. Never forget it. The power of mystery, ladies. Let me tell you something. Men love mystery. Don't let anybody fool you. A man can act like he wants to know everything about you, like he wants all the answers up front. But the truth is, what keeps him chasing is what he doesn't know yet. Curiosity is a powerful fuel, and if you give it all away too fast, you take away the chase. See, here's what happens. Too many women think closeness means oversharing. First week of talking, you're telling him your life story, your childhood, your heartbreaks, your goals, your fears, your grocery list. You think, if I open up, he'll feel closer to me. But let me be real. When you spill everything at once, you leave nothing for him to discover. Men are natural hunters. They like to uncover, to explore, to earn access. When you hold some things back, you give him something to lean into. Think about your favorite movie or show. What keeps you watching episode after episode? It's the cliffhangers. It's the unanswered questions. It's the mystery of what happens next. Same with dating. If he feels like he's already read the ending, why would he keep turning the pages? But if every conversation leaves him curious, if every interaction makes him wonder, man, what else is there to her? That's when you've got his attention. Now, let me be clear. Mystery doesn't mean being cold or fake. It doesn't mean playing games. It means pacing yourself. It means knowing you don't have to put everything on the table right away. Share a little, then pull back. Answer a question, but leave room for him to ask more. That rhythm keeps the energy alive. Here's what mystery looks like in practice. Instead of texting him every detail about your day, you keep it light. Had a great day, tell you later. That's 5 words right there. Short, simple, and loaded with curiosity. He'll wonder, what happened? What made her day great? And guess what? He'll chase for the answer. That's mystery working in your favor. And let me give you a warning. The opposite of mystery is overexposure. If you're too available, too predictable, always the first to text, always the one filling every silence, you strip away the intrigue. He doesn't have to work for your attention because you're handing it out for free. Mystery, on the other hand, makes him invest. It makes him try harder because he knows you're not just sitting around waiting on him. Ladies, I want you to remember this. Mystery makes you unforgettable. A woman who's mysterious lingers in a man's mind. He'll replay conversations. He'll wonder what you're doing. He'll think about you when you're not even there. That's the magic. It's not about tricks. It's about allowing space for his imagination to do the work. And let me tell you, when a man's imagination is on you, he can't stop chasing. Now, don't confuse mystery with manipulation. You don't have to pretend to be something you're not. You don't have to create drama. You just have to trust that you don't need to give everything all at once. You are layered. You are complex. You are interesting. Let him discover you piece by piece, not in one sitting. And here's the beauty of it. When you combine mystery with confidence, you become magnetic. You walk into a room and you don't have to announce who you are. Your energy says it for you. When you text, you don't have to write paragraphs. A simple guess what keeps him hooked. That's the power of mystery. So here's the conclusion. The power of mystery lies in restraint. It's knowing when to speak and when to let silence do the talking. It's about leaving room for him to wonder, to chase, to discover. Because a man who's curious about you is a man who won't stop chasing you. And the more mysterious you are, not by hiding, but by pacing, the more he'll lean in. Remember this, ladies, the mystery is not about what you hide. It's about what you choose to reveal and when. That's how you keep him chasing nonstop. The 5 words now, ladies, I know what's been sitting heavy on your mind since I started this conversation. You keep thinking, Steve, just tell me what the 5 words are. And let me tell you something. The magic ain't just in the words themselves. The magic is in the way you say them, the confidence behind them, and the timing of when you deliver them. Because 5 little words can either sound desperate or they can sound like a challenge that makes a man's heart race. Here's what I mean. Men love clarity, but they also love direction. Sometimes we don't even know what we're feeling until a woman puts it into words in a way that wakes us up. Those 5 words I'm talking about. They're not begging, they're not whining. They're not manipulative. They're powerful, simple, and straight to the point. You're not losing me easily. Let that sink in. Do you feel how heavy that is? Those words say, I'm valuable. I'm not easy to replace. I'm worth the chase, worth the effort, worth the commitment. They flip a switch in a man's mind. Suddenly he realizes, hold up, I can't just treat her any kind of way. She's not like the others. She's got standards, she's got presence, and she knows her worth. Now let me break it down with a story. Imagine a man is out fishing. He catches fish after fish, tossing them in the cooler. Most of those fish don't put up much of a fight. But then he hooks one that pulls back, one that makes him struggle, one that makes him sweat a little. Which fish do you think he'll talk about later? Which one will he brag about? The one that didn't come easy. That's what those 5 words do. They make him realize you're not just another catch. You're the one worth chasing. Here's the thing though. If you throw those words out without believing them, they don't work. If deep down you're still doubting yourself, still scared he's going to leave, then the words lose their weight. But when you say it from a place of confidence, when your tone says you know exactly what you bring to the table, it hits him differently. It makes him lean forward and pay attention. And don't get it twisted. Those 5 words aren't about being hard to get just for the sake of games. They're about reminding him that you're not temporary. You're not disposable. You're not a quick stop on his journey. You're the kind of woman who changes his direction, who upgrades his life, who adds something real. That's what you're telling him without giving a whole speech. See, men don't respond well to begging or nagging. You can write 10 paragraphs explaining what you want, and he'll still skim through it. But 5 strong words that challenge him, that stays in his head. He might act cool on the outside, but on the inside he's thinking, man, I gotta step it up. I can't let her slip away. And now let's be real, the reason these 5 words work is because they put the ball back in his court. You're not begging him to stay. You're not threatening to leave. You're simply saying, if you want me, it's going to take real effort because I know my worth. And men respect that. A man worth having won't run from that challenge. He'll rise to it. Ladies, here's what I want you to walk away with. The 5 words are not just a line. They're a mindset. They're a declaration of your value. They're a way of reminding him and reminding yourself that you are not replaceable, that you are not ordinary, and that if he wants to keep you, he's got to bring his best. So here's the conclusion. The 5 words are powerful because they shift the dynamic. They take you out of the position of chasing and put him back in the role of pursuer. They remind him that you're not just any woman. You're the woman who knows her worth, who carries herself with mystery, who shows her value through actions, not just words. And when you speak those 5 words with confidence, you don't just get his attention, you get his effort, his consistency, and his chase. Because deep down, every man knows a woman who can look him in the eye and say, "You're not losing me easily," is a woman he cannot afford to lose. Actions over words, ladies. Let me tell you something right now. A man can say anything. Words are cheap, promises are easy, but actions, that's where the truth lies. If you really want to know where you stand with a man, don't listen too hard to what he says. Watch what he does. See, men grow up learning how to talk smooth. A guy can text you, "Good morning, beautiful," every day and still not be serious about you. He can say, "I miss you," while he's talking to 3 other women. He can promise, "I'll change, I'll do better," but never lift a finger to prove it. That's because words don't cost him nothing, but effort, time, consistency. That costs him. And people don't spend what they don't value. Think about it. A man can tell you he respects you, but does he show up on time? Does he listen when you talk? Does he keep his word when he says he's going to call? Respect is not in the saying, it's in the doing. A man can say, "I love you," but love is proven in how he treats you when he's mad, when he's busy, when nobody else is watching. Anybody can speak love. Only the right man shows it. And here's the part that stings a little. Sometimes women get so caught up in what they want to hear, they ignore what's right in front of them. You keep replaying his sweet words while his actions are screaming the opposite. You tell yourself, "But he said he cares about me." Meanwhile, he cancels plans, he's inconsistent, he disappears when you need him. Sis, let me help you. If his actions and his words don't line up, believe the actions. Now let's flip it. It ain't just about his actions, it's about yours too. You can say, "I know my worth," but if you accept less than what you deserve, your actions are teaching him that your words don't mean much. You can say, "I'm done with inconsistency," but if you keep letting him back in without change, you're telling him you'll settle for inconsistency. Your actions are your standards in motion. They either show him you mean business or they show him you're all talk. Here's a story for you. I knew a woman who kept saying she wanted commitment. Every conversation with her man, she brought it up. "When are we going to make it official? When are we going to move forward?" And he kept saying, "Soon, baby." Months went by, then years. No ring, no steps forward, just words. She kept holding on to what he said instead of paying attention to what he did. Let me tell you, the day she finally believed his actions over his promises, she walked away. And guess what? The man suddenly realized she meant business. He showed up at her job the next week with a ring. See, it wasn't her words that made him move. It was her action of walking away. That's the power of actions over words. It's the same thing with the 5 words we talked about earlier. You can say, "You're not losing me easily," but your actions have to back it up. If you tell him you're valuable but still accept scraps, your actions cancel out your message. But if you tell him you're valuable and then carry yourself like it, he'll see it in how you move. He'll feel it in the boundaries you set. Men respect what you require, not what you request. And the way you require is through your actions. Don't just tell him you expect effort. Show him you won't settle for less. Don't just say you want consistency. Remove yourself when he's inconsistent. Don't just ask for respect. Demand it by walking away from anything less. So here's the conclusion. Actions over words is the key to flipping the whole dynamic. Because men may talk a good game, but it's the actions that reveal the truth. And when your actions line up with your worth, it forces his actions to line up too, or he'll fall away. And either way, you win. Remember this, his words can make you smile, but his actions will show you if he's serious. And your actions, they're the loudest statement you'll ever make. Actions don't lie. Actions don't waver. Actions set the standard. And the right man, he'll chase you not because of what you said, but because your actions showed him you're the prize worth chasing. Consistency seals the deal, ladies. Let me tell you something that a lot of folks don't want to admit. Anybody can come out strong in the beginning. Oh, that first month. That honeymoon phase, that's when the flowers show up, the good morning texts come rolling in, and the effort is dripping off him like honey. But you don't need to judge a man by how he starts. You judge him by how he sustains. Consistency is what separates a man who's just playing from a man who's serious. See, consistency ain't about perfection. It's not about him never messing up or never forgetting. It's about showing up regularly with effort, with presence, with care. A man can say he loves you one day, but it's his actions over time that prove it. Anybody can sprint, but only the ones who truly care will keep running the marathon. Now, here's where a lot of women get tripped up. You confuse intensity with consistency. A man can come in with fireworks, blowing up your phone, showering you with attention, telling you he's never felt this way before. And listen, that feels good. That makes your heart race. But fireworks burn out fast. Don't get blinded by the sparks. Pay attention to whether he can light a steady flame. A man who's consistent will call when he says he will. He'll show up when he says he will. He won't have you second, guessing or sitting by the phone wondering what happened. He'll keep his words lined up with his actions, not just for a week, not just for a month, but as time goes on. That's when you know he's serious. And let me flip it. It's not just about his consistency. It's about yours too. If you want a man to chase you nonstop, you can't send mixed signals. You can't act like the prize one day and then settle for crumbs the next. You can't set boundaries and then break them because you're lonely. Your consistency tells him how to treat you. If you're steady with your standards, steady with your actions, steady with your energy, then he knows exactly what it takes to keep you. Let me give you a real story. I knew this woman who was dating a man who came on strong in the beginning. He was calling, texting, showing up, making plans. But after a while, his efforts started to fade. Calls got shorter, dates became fewer, and she was the one carrying the weight. Now, instead of begging or chasing, she stayed consistent with her standard. She kept living her life, kept holding her boundaries, and didn't start doing his job for him. And guess what? He noticed. He realized if he didn't step his consistency back up, he was going to lose her. And that's when he straightened out. That's how powerful consistency is. It's like gravity. It pulls everything into alignment. Because here's the truth, inconsistency creates confusion, and confusion creates insecurity. But consistency creates safety. It builds trust. It makes a woman feel like she can relax and lean in. And for a man, consistency is the way he proves he's not just talking, he's invested. And here's the thing, ladies, don't mistake consistency for boredom. Some of y'all are so used to chaos that when you get consistency, you think it's dull. You're used to the roller coaster, the ups and downs, the guessing games. So when a man comes in steady, showing up the same way every day, you start thinking, this can't be real. But that's exactly what you need. Fireworks fade, stability lasts. So here's the conclusion. Consistency seals the deal because it turns promises into proof, it turns effort into habit, and it turns interest into commitment. The 5 words we talked about, they spark the chase. Mystery keeps the curiosity alive. Actions show intent. But consistency, that's what keeps it going for the long run. Without consistency, it's just noise. With consistency, it's a symphony. Ladies, don't just let a man chase you with intensity. Let him prove himself with consistency. Because at the end of the day, love isn't about how loud he starts. It's about how steady he stays. And if he's consistent, that's when you know he's real. Ladies, let me leave you with this. The 5 words, the mystery, the boundaries, all of it, none of that is really about him. It's about you. It's about reminding yourself every single day that you are the prize, you are valuable, and you are worthy of a man's best effort. not his leftovers. See, the words don't change a man. They reveal him. If he's interested, those words will light a fire under him. They'll wake him up. They'll make him sit up straighter and chase you like he should have been doing from the start. But if he's not, those same words will expose the truth. And that's a blessing too, because now you're not wasting your time on somebody who doesn't see your worth. Either way, you win. At the end of the day, this whole thing is bigger than a text. It's about walking like you know who you are. It's about protecting your peace and refusing to settle. Because the right man, he doesn't need to be begged. He doesn't need to be convinced. He'll rise. He'll pursue. He'll put in the work because he knows a woman like you doesn't come around twice. So don't lower your standards to keep a man. Don't dim your light to make him comfortable. Stand tall in who you are. Trust your worth and let him do the chasing. Because the man who's meant for you won't just chase you for a day or a week or a season. He'll chase you for life. And that, ladies, is the truth.